Good morning, YouTube. Blash Media coming at you again. It is Sunday morning. B is for Bill just put up a video last night, and he actually gave me a little shout out on his video. I put a link of my YouTube video on his, and he actually supported it, so I thought that was pretty cool. So it's Sunday morning. I was going to record yesterday as Saturday, but it was really rainy here in Portland. Hardly no sunlight. I did some volunteer work at my local middle school, which I actually attended to. So with that and the weather and Christmas shopping with my wife, I just decided, hey, I'm just gonna lay low. So I have the car in front of me. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. So I got the car here Friday night. So I got home pretty late, and as soon as I pulled up to my driveway, I was like, wow, this car is super sick. Yeah, it looks like it should be at a junkyard, but to me, I think this is so cool. So as you guys can tell, I have a bungee strap on my hood. So when I went out driving that Friday night, because I just could not drive it. I drove it in Mexico because I'm legally not registered here in Oregon. So I had to go out to Mexico and drive. But my mother-in-law drove it, so I assumed the hood was latched. So, but as I was driving, I gave a little bit of throttle, and my hood went up. So ever since then, as you guys can tell, the latch is a little behind, or this thing is behind, and it's supposed to be in here and latch and close. So I don't know. My mother-in-law says she drove it really carefully, and she didn't have any issues because she was terrified driving it. So she drove it around. She drove it home, and so I don't know. I was looking at videos of Beast for Build last night about the G35, and I noticed that the hood was fine. So I think what might have happened, it's not Beast for Build, it's not Chris' fault. I think somebody at the yard was driving it, maybe gave a little too much, and the hood actually went up before it did for me. So that's kind of my thought, because it's kind of weird that it's not latching. So I'll give you a quick walk around of the vehicle. I mean, it looks so badass. I mean, I don't know what you guys, but to me, this is the coolest thing. I've noticed that on this one, the camber is not as much as this one. So I thought that was kind of weird, but oh well. And as you guys can tell, sharp edges. Use caution. I love this. I mean, I love this rustic look. I love this zombie thing. I think this is cool. And it's actually kind of funny because it says, watch out for sharp edges. And actually, Friday night, walked by and scraped this. And I'm like, yep, actually got to watch out for sharp edges. So here's this. Here's the back end. I love it so much. So I'm inside the G35. And Chris was right. There's no headrest. Kind of scares the crap out of me if you get in an accident. That'd be some bad whiplash. So like I said before, drove this Friday night just to shake it down. I couldn't hold it in. Probably should have checked the hood. That thing wasn't lashed all the way, and next thing I know, luckily my windshield wasn't shattered. I've had this happen before with Copart, where I bought a vehicle, drove all the way to Eugene, and they didn't latch it, and it was my fault. I didn't check, but next thing I know, the hood went up. So luckily I sold that car. B is for Build it. I just, when the fender at the edge, when the latch went up, the fender kind of rolled at the edge of it, kind of rolled towards me. So I kind of just rolled it back, bonded it a little bit. So luckily that wasn't that big of a deal. But this is my second time it happened with Copart. So I don't know if they had to jump this car and they just forgot to latch it. I would love for Copart to start latching their stuff. Granted, it is our duty to check, but I wish my mother-in-law told me to, but that wasn't her fault. She was so terrified driving this car. She was so terrified, but she drove it home. Greatly appreciate it, because so I run a business full time. My wife and I own it, and I didn't have the time to go get it because then I would have to close down shop because of some of our team members couldn't cover for me. So so I had to have her. I gave her the money to pay for the vehicle. So let's go ahead and start it up. I do admit it is stupid loud. This car is stupid loud. So I'm gonna start it up. Let's see if I can roll down. And Chris is right. And Chris is right. The window on this is really weird. It doesn't roll. When it rolls up, it goes down like a quarter of the way. So I roll down the window. I'm gonna go ahead and start it up so you guys can hear. And again, warning, it is stupid loud. Makes that weird noise when it starts up. But you know, Bees for Bill, TJ Hunt, and all of them, they probably abuse the crap out of this engine, so that kind of doesn't surprise me. So I'm gonna go for a quick drive just to give it a shakedown, which I already know, but just so you guys can tell. I do notice the clutch is very heavy. It's very sticky though. That's really weird. This would be a really good car for my wife to learn. I've kind of tried to teach her, but I'm hoping that you guys can hear what I'm saying behind this loud. At 3,000 RPMs, forget it. Your ears are ringing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let this car warm up. I always let my cars warm up on a cold start. It just allows the engine, the oil to get through. I'm very OCD about my vehicles. My dad's owned a 98 Accord, 250,000 miles, and the engine still felt amazing. So just something that I've been doing, and so I'm gonna let the car warm up before I give it a little spin. Alright, I think you've been warming up a little too long now. Let's go ahead and use and abuse. Alright, let's take this baby for a spin. Don't forget to put your seatbelts on. So also the door only opens from the outside. I'm gonna take a look into that. Granted, it doesn't really bother me. I do apologize. I don't have a suction mount thing for my car yet, so I kind of just had to find a placement for my vehicle, or for the camera on this car. I'm gonna go ahead and buy one today. I just didn't have the time to buy one. So Chris is right. The window, it does not roll up. So what I do is I just kind of slowly go up. Airbag light is off, and the tire temperature, or the tire pressure, is off. So let's go ahead and take this out for a little spin. So the clutch is very sticky, which is a good thing, because the way I've been testing, at least what I've been told by my uncle, who's a mechanic or knows a little more about cars, the way I just stalled it. That's embarrassing. Alright, so I just parked my Civic right there, so it's kind of hard. So the way my uncle's been teaching me how to test, or at least I was told, is you just release the clutch really slowly, and if it grabs through the transition as you're going, then it's a really good clutch. And it's a very heavy clutch. I've owned a G35 before. I don't remember what year. I don't remember this layout ever being. I don't even remember if there was a clock on mine, but it was so long ago. I think I was a junior in high school, actually, when I had the G35. So I'm not gonna give it any gas. I was kidding. I'm not in Mexico. I'm here in Portland. The car is not registered, so that's why I also am hesitant to kind of drive it in the rain, kind of take it out for crazy drives, because I don't want to get this car towed. That would be really bad. So the car is really loud. I mean, I'm in almost 2,000 RPMs in second gear, and my ears are ringing. I can hear it in the back. I'm hoping you guys can hear me. So like I said, the clutch is very heavy but sticky, and I like it. What else? The window has a problem. The door doesn't open from inside. You gotta open it from outside, but that doesn't bother me. I gotta roll down this window because it's foggy. I can't see anything. Oh, did I kill it again? I know how to drive stick, I promise. I haven't had this problem before, but see, I'm on a main street right now, and I'm scared to death getting pulled over. And people are staring at the car. See, I love that. I love that the people are staring at it. So there's no cones there, so I'm just gonna go ahead and pull in and then just talk. Other than that, the mechanics of it, yeah, the steering wheel's a little tilted, which doesn't. Oh, I also gotta remember that this car is lowered. I haven't driven a lowered car in so long that I went over a bump yesterday when I went to the middle school to do some volunteer work, and it hurt deep inside because I felt the transmission just rubbing against that. So the slip went back on. VDC is off after driving, but that's right. Chris from Beefs for Build did say that after a while that does turn off. Airbag is off, but I mean there's stitches up there, little drift stitches already going on. So I'm gonna go ahead and take some outside shots because I'm here at the school. I did take this out on Friday night for a little slide. With the LSD, it did kick a little bit, but again, I'm so terrified because I don't know this car, and being in legal streets, I don't want to hit anything. I do apologize. My memory card got full. Not memory card, but my memory on my iPhone got full. So I had to drive down and delete some stuff. So drove the car around. All in all, it could be a daily. You just have to be I have to be very careful driving it. And right before he sold it, Chris ran into a tunnel or the accident. I actually take that tunnel every single day. But back to the main point. So this video was more just to drive it around to show you guys with me having it in my possession, what I noticed with the car. Everything Chris from Bees for Build said, it's accurate. There's nothing funny. Only thing was with the hood, but I don't think that was his fault. I think somebody must have been driving it too hard on the yard and didn't latch it, because I feel like watching his videos, it was latching. And again, when I was driving I saw the hood shaking a little bit, and I'm like, it seemed weird, but you know, whatever. And then I was watching Chris Bees for Build videos yesterday, and he had a shot of him driving, and the hood was completely flat. So I wish I would have done my due diligence before that. But hey, it's not like the car was in pristine condition when I bought it. So in my next video, I'm going to give you reasons why I bought this vehicle, kind of my plans and my wife's plan for this car, kind of mentioned in the last one. So also about this channel, what I'm going to do, so I'm passionate about driving cars, and I'm also very passionate about finances and money. And this is going to be more of a vloggy type, but with cars mixed into it. So I run a doggy daycare business full time, and we have times, as many people know in business, there's gonna be days where it's slow. So, and I was sitting one day and I'm like, what can I do to, instead of just sitting here wasting time and wasting money because I got to pay for a lease and team members, what can I do to make income while making income too? So this channel, and I was talking to my wife, is what am I very passionate about? I'm very passionate about finances. I'm very passionate about my Green Bay Packers, but there's only so much you can do with NFL licensing. And I'm very passionate about cars and drifting. I have a lot of fun drifting. And here in Portland, there's a huge car community. So yeah. So that's going to be the scoop of my channel. It's going to be car builds with some vlog and financial tips that I think that work for me. That's the progression of my channel. So this is the vehicle. Really nice. I like it. Chris for BS for Build, I definitely appreciate it. Thank you for the opportunity to put it on Copar, where it's actually people bid with, instead of eBay, where they don't have to buy it. With Copar, you have to, or you pay a fee to, not like the first guy. So I appreciate Chris from BS for Build for giving me the opportunity. I am going to try to grow on it. Blash Media, that's BLASH Media, that's my YouTube channel. Go ahead, like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more. My next video is going to be on why I bought this vehicle and more in depth with that. Have a good one.